Okay, let's just jump straight into it. We're about to pull back the curtain on the animal kingdom, and trust me, it's going to completely blow up any of those cute storybook ideas you have about animal romance. So, when you picture animals trying to find a mate, what do you see? Maybe some fancy dance moves, bright, colorful feathers, a soft little chirp in the forest?
Yeah. Think again. For a ton of species, it's got nothing to do with romance. It's all about brute force, some truly bizarre anatomy, and this just unstoppable drive to pass on their genes. We're not talking courtship here. We're talking about an all-out biological war zone.
And our first stop in this war zone is what you could call an anatomical arms race. This is where evolution has literally transformed bodies into weapons. So let's talk about ducks. Yeah, ducks. Most of the year, they're just ducks, right? Swimming peacefully, doing their thing. But oh boy, when mating season hits, it's like a switch flips. The males get super aggressive, and their bodies go through this wild transformation. We're talking about their reproductive organ, which starts out at just a couple of inches. And then it becomes this. The Argentine duck grows a corkscrew-shaped penis that can be half a meter long. That's often as long as its entire body. And believe me, that's not for show. It's a weapon, plain and simple, used for some pretty coercive stuff. The whole ritual is just brutal. The male chases the female, bites her neck to pin her down, and forces himself on her. But here's where it gets really fascinating. This isn't a one-sided fight. The females have evolved this incredible defense. Their reproductive tract is like a maze, a labyrinth with dead ends and spirals going the opposite way of the males. It's perfectly designed to block him. It's her way of getting the final say, a last-ditch choice in who actually fathers her offspring. Okay, so if you thought that was bizarre, buckle up, because it gets way, way stranger. We're moving on to something called penis fencing. And yes, you absolutely heard me right. It's a literal sword fight with penises. For creatures like hermaphroditic sea slugs, everything is at stake here, because whoever loses gets stuck with the tough, energy-draining job of being the mom. So here's how this crazy duel goes down. Two sea slugs show up, and neither one wants to be the one carrying the kids, right? So what do? They whip out their penises and start fighting. The winner stabs the loser, first injecting this liquid to make them receptive, and then injects the sperm. And get this, for a final cold-blooded twist, they'll cuddle afterwards, but it's not romantic. It's a tactical move to slow down the loser's metabolism, so they don't just digest the sperm like it was lunch. All right, so physical weapons are one thing. But what happens when you throw high intelligence into this brutal equation? Well, that's where we meet the dolphin. I mean, who doesn't love dolphins? We all do, and it makes sense. They seem like the golden children of the animal kingdom. They're wicked smart, super playful, and they even have these unique whistles that are basically names for each other. They're just amazing animals. And that's what makes this next part so chilling, because that same intelligence we admire so much, it gets used for some pretty dark, coordinated, and coercive plans. Pods of male dolphins will literally team up to target a female. They'll isolate her, basically kidnap her. They work together, strategically blocking off any way for her to escape, and then they take turns mating with her, by force. And here's the kicker. Researchers say it's not always even about making babies. Sometimes it seems like they're just doing it for fun. So we've seen intelligence used as a weapon. Now let's talk about sheer, overwhelming brute force. Welcome to the world of the elephant seal. And in this world, size is literally everything. For a male elephant seal, life is pretty black and white. You're either in the top 10% or you're basically nothing. The alpha male, this absolute unit, can weigh over 7,000 pounds. He controls a beach full of up to 100 females, and he spends a solid month doing nothing but mating, to the point where he'll lose over 2,000 pounds. And the other 90% of males, they're left on the sidelines hoping for a scrap. And life inside that harem, it's unbelievably violent. The alpha drags females in whether they're willing or even old enough. He just uses his massive bulk to trap them. And for the females, who are so much smaller, this can actually be deadly. We're talking broken bones or even death. And if they do manage to make a break for the ocean, guess what's waiting for them? The desperate beta males on the fringe, who will violently attack them for their one shot at mating. Okay, so we've covered violence and we've covered coercion. But this last section, this is a whole other level. We're now looking at the most extreme strategy you can imagine, where the only way to succeed is to make the ultimate sacrifice. First up, we're diving deep into the ocean to meet the anglerfish, and the size difference here is it's just ridiculous. The female is this 3-foot-long monster of the abyss, and the male, he's this tiny, kind of pathetic little guy, less than an inch long.
So what's a guy like that supposed to do? Well, he has one mission and one mission only: find a female in that pitch-black water. When he finally does, he swims up, bites her, and never lets go. His body literally fuses into hers. Their blood vessels connect, and he just dissolves until the only thing left of him are his testes, permanently attached to her like a living, parasitic sperm bank she can use whenever she wants. All right, from the deep sea to a spider's web, let's talk about the red-backed spider. Another case of a huge size difference. The female is massive, super venomous, and weighs 100 times more than the male. And his chances of surviving a date with her? Not great. We're talking a 30% survival rate. Dismal. So what's his game plan? He leans into it. He embraces death. He walks right up to the female, does this little somersaults that puts his head right in front of her fangs, and basically serves himself up on a silver platter. While he's inseminating her with his first sperm packet, she starts liquefying and eating him. But here's the crazy part. That's the plan. His own body becomes a distraction. As she's busy eating him, it gives him just enough time to get that second sperm packet in there, doubling his chances of becoming a dad. And finally, we have saved what is maybe the most horrifyingly efficient reproductive strategy for last. I'm talking about the adaptations mites. And with these mites, the females are born already pregnant. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. They are born pregnant. Okay, so check out this 4-day life cycle. It's insane. A single male and about 7 of his sisters all hatch inside their mother. The brother has one job and one job only: mate with all of his sisters. Mission accomplished, he dies. Then the now pregnant sisters need to get out, so they eat their mother from the inside out. They escape, and each one starts this whole gruesome, frankly eatable cycle all over again. So after all of that, it really leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? We've seen brutal violence, we've seen deception, we've seen the ultimate self-sacrifice, and it's all for one thing: the biological need to reproduce. So if this is what it takes for life to find a way, what does that really say about the nature of life itself? About that cold, relentless, and, you have to admit, totally fascinating engine that drives it all?